Welcome to lesson 2. This is one of my favorite lessons to do for special courses because it all has to do with tarot and oracle decks and showing you all the goodies that I have selected here for you. So in this class, I'm going to walk you through showing you some of the tarot and oracle cards from my personal collection that I would reach for when I'm doing any kind of career type of exploration, vocation exploration, or when I'm digging deep into my money mindset, as you are all doing right now. And I'm also going to be giving you a criteria for how to pick one of those decks from your personal collection. As I always say in the beginning of all of these classes, you don't need to buy decks I'm going to show you. You don't need to. You can. You absolutely can if you want to, if you have the means for it, go for it. If any of the decks kind of excited you never seen before and you want to have it, go for it. But you don't need to. You can do this work with, as I always say, with any of the 3 classic system. You can do this work with Aleister Crowley and Lady Freya Harris Those deck. Any edition of this deck. You can do this reading with if you haven't taken Find Your Love Partner class, you haven't seen it. This is such a, look at it, Bira box from 1996 when I got this deck for the first time. So this is right away. Oh my God, look at this. The Hierophant was the first card shown there, and Hierophant here too. What a teachable moment here for all of us in terms of money mindset, which just shows us you don't always need to follow the tradition of how you think about the money. Look how dirty it is. But you can have just a standard Rider-Waite Smith deck. And you can have any edition of our loved third system, Tarot de Marseille. So you really can have any one of those decks to work with. And if this is going to fall on the Hierophant, I'm going to flip. No, we got an Empress though. How lovely. So keep that in mind. Again, you don't need the decks. I am showing you decks that I have that are suitable for this work as a way to demonstrate how then to get creative in selecting decks from your collection. So when it comes to money and when it comes to working on digging deep into your money mindset and your relationship with abundance and money and all of the good, yummy stuff, first thing that comes to mind for a deck that is going to be really suitable for this work is any deck that is going to be clear, direct, and honest. Reason being is because we are digging into matters around mundane aspects. Money is mundane aspect. Money is transactional. Money is something that we need for our survival. So money falls into all of those categories, and money can be very tricky. Our mindset and how we think and rationalize and justify money can be very tricky. So for that reason, to have a deck that is clear and just kind of gives you those answers that you're looking for without giving you something where it leaves you confused. I also know that when we're talking about money, we're digging deep into questions that may give us a sense of anxiety and worry, may make us feel uncomfortable. So having decks that are clear and to the point are really going to serve you along the way. Think about decks to parallel money in a sense of accounting, right? If you were to select an accountant, you want an accountant that really knows numbers, really good at math, and you want an accountant who knows how to do accounting. So you want to look at your collection and see which deck makes you feel like it also could hold a job as an accountant, right? Or a banker. Think about those regards. That's going to be a really good deck. From all of my collection, I have 1 tarot deck and I have 2 oracle decks that actually, well, this tarot deck is not specific to money and career, but it is my ultimate career deck. And these 2 oracle decks are specific to money. So there are decks out there that are specific with that focus. This tarot deck, as I said, it's not specific to money, but for me, it is the ultimate career deck. This is Muster by Chris Ann. Again, you don't need to write down names. All of the names for all of the decks shown are in credits on your last page of your workbook. This deck is my favorite deck when I work with money. It is my favorite deck when I work with any kind of career, inspiration, creativity, especially as somebody who is self-employed. This is, I have graciously, a friend gifted me first edition copy of this. When you buy it from Amazon, it doesn't have gilding. This deck is so inspiring. It is truly a muse. It is so creative. It is so open. It's just so good if you feel stuck in your career, if you feel stuck in your relationship to money, if you feel stuck in your relationship to abundance. This deck is really good for those readings. So I cannot recommend it high enough. Like I said, you don't have to run out there and buy it. But keep in mind, you're looking for a deck that feels inspirational, that feels open, and also feels like an accountant, a banker, a deck that laser focused and can give clear answers. And this is definitely a deck that encompasses all of those things. So this is going to be my first recommendation, is a Muse Tarot. And just like when I did Find Your Love Partner class, there were some decks that I had that were also very specific on love. There are definitely these two oracle decks that are very specific on money. These both are from independent publishers from Etsy. This one is called Golden Oracle, Golden Career Oracle. I think it's 78 or 80 cards Oracle. I etched mine, very chunky. You will see images of this in your workbook because I use these images. This one is very specific to career and to money, finances, abundance, all of that. This one I have been working with for some time, has been reading really well for me. I was surprised because there's a lot of messages here about career, moving up in your job, in the sense of for somebody who works in a company. And I was surprised that actually have been giving me cards that are more relatable to me being entrepreneur. So far it has been a good marriage affair for me with this deck. It's very specific. Again, you don't need to have an oracle that is so specific. Sometimes I feel when we are making really big life decisions or we are really digging really deep into our money mindset, having a deck that is very specific also can be helpful, but you don't need to. Second one is from a different Etsy shop called, it's also in your guidebook, Midnight Oracle. This one is Indigo Goddess Money Oracle. This one is so stunningly beautiful. It's also, I think, 78 cards, and it is focusing on career and money mindset. And you will see it in your workbook. I love working with this one because of the color palette. I love color blue. And when you combine blue and gold, it's just so beautiful. And it has dragons in it. Who doesn't love dragons? So again, you don't need to have any kind of tarot or oracle deck that is so specific to career. But if you do, great. It can be sometimes too literal. For me, it has been really helpful because when again comes to money mindset, we all want clarity. I think we all want to work through those things, and the more clear the answer, the better off we are to move forward in a direction we need to move to. So this is Indigo Goddess Money, and I think it's called Indigo Goddess Money and Career Oracle. I really like this one. So these are the two that I have that are very specific. Now, beyond specific, right? So let's say you're looking around your collection and you don't have any tarot oracle decks that are money specific, career specific. What can you use? If you don't want to use standard Rider-Waite-Smith, Tarot de Marseille, and those decks. Another way to look at it is look for a deck that is going to be, like I said, brutally honest. Love, hate, Deviant Moon. For those of you who have it, you know that this one doesn't beat around the bush. It tells you exactly how it is. And when it comes to unblocking and working through money and money, especially blockages or any kind of aspects of even elements of shadow revolving around money, this is a great act because it will really tell you what's lurking, what's really you're not seeing, what's being concealed behind in a moonlight that you're not being aware of. You don't need to have the stack. Which stack do you think in your collection you have that has um, this type of honesty, this type of clarity, this type of directness? This is a very direct talker. This one talks very, very, it doesn't beat around the bush. And I think I just noticed that my deck is actually surprisingly organized in sequence. So if you're watching this and you notice that surprisingly this happened to be in order. So Deviant Moon is another one. Again, we're thinking about a deck that is going to be clear and that is going to be very, very honest with us, very direct, because when it comes to money matters, honestly, we do want clarity. We do want a direction. So that's going to be another way for you. I'm trying to see if I have chosen an oracle that is that direct, and I don't see it on here, but this tarot is going to be really, really great. Another one that is going to be a criteria for you to consider when it comes to working through your money mindset is to look for a deck that is very everyday, called everyday deck, meaning the images are rooted in everyday reality. Versus, for example, decks that have fantasy landscapes or some fantastical things depicted in them, perhaps some creatures that are unreal. The reason why you would like to have a deck that is rooted in the now in the reality is because, again, money is mundane, money is tangible, money is, it's not real, but it is real. It is something that transactional, it's really paper, but it is um, so essential to our everyday reality. A great example of a deck that is rooted in everyday is Poppy, wonderful Poppy Palin, God bless her heart, who has passed away not too long ago. Her enchanted, everyday enchanted tarot deck. Some people don't like this deck because it seems to be so everyday, like just every day. It reminds me of Gaian Tarot. That's another one. If you have Gaian Tarot, that would be another great option. But I think when it comes to money, medicine, money, the more realistic you are, in the sense of really facing and confronting your reality and how you feel about money in relation to money, is the better off you're going to be. Beautiful bags. I etched and trimmed my copies. Those of you who follow me on my YouTube know I'm a big tarot trimmer. So this is going to be a Poppy. Uh, and I just realized I chopped off all of the titles too. So interesting how I messed this deck. But you see, this is a great example, right? It depicts everyday living. It depicts things of our mundane life. It depicts life right here in front of you. It depicts real people. It depicts things we tend to do in our life, things we tend to celebrate, the way we tend to feel. Look at this little pugger. Oh, makes me think of my previous dog. I had a pug named Freud. So it depicts everyday, what you would say, mundane things of life, things that you just do. Another tarot deck that comes to mind is Urban Tarot. That's another one that comes to mind. So think of a deck that has this kind of everyday feel to it, because you really want to ground yourself into the reality of living to help you unblock your relationship to money, to help you really get deeper within yourself. You want something that makes your psyche almost acknowledge that we're dealing with something that is so essential to mundane of our existence. So look around, see what you have. This is a great example of this. I have another one that is a great example of this type of everyday depiction, and it's going to be also by Chris Ann. It's a pocket edition. Many of you adore this deck and probably already have it in your home, the Light Sears Tarot. This deck is very, very, very good deck for this type of work with your money mindset. One of the reasons why this is such a good deck is because look how tiny it is, and I aged mine. Did I tell you I'm a big edger of decks? I probably mentioned this in every video I make. But this deck is so phenomenal because it is so human. It is so touching. It is so, I don't want to say sweet because it's not washy-washy sweet. It is so generous with human soul. And when it comes to working through our blockages and mindset, things can come up such as envy, jealousy in regards to money, guilt, shame, frustrations. And this deck, apart from depicting everyday life, also lands, I read this deck with reversals too, so you can see it's, I love it when I start twisting it and then it turns around just when I do it. This deck is great because not only does it do a great depiction of everyday life, but also this deck is really good because it is so tender. It is soft without being overly too soft. It is generous enough and yet holds you accountable and responsible. It's very loving without being too what's the word I'm looking for? Too enmeshing, too overburdened. It's really, really good deck for this reading. So look around. What other deck do you have that depicts everyday life, but also has this balance of goodness, also has this balance of helping you recognize that you are a human being going through a human experience. You are having experiences of mundane things and in relation to money, just like a lot of us. So this is going to be my other recommendation right here. If you have it, like I said, you don't need to buy it, but you can. All of the decks I'm showing to you are mass-produced, with the exception of these two money-specific oracles. Everything else is mass-produced and easily accessible. If you choose to buy it, this is also easily accessible to you as well. So the next decks that we want to look at are going to be decks that are going to be creative, going to support your creative endeavors. Here's why. When you start working on your money mindset, you'd be surprised how things are going to be opened up for you. And for a lot of us, when we start working on money mindset, what happens for a lot of you is that chances are some of you might get really, really inspired to shift direction in which you flow. And for that reason, as you shift, trusting where you're going, having the trust where you're flowing is going to be really helpful. Alana Fairchild Wild One and Oracle is going to be fantastic for that. And I can see that in here, the edition that I have in this box is it's like a special matte and gold gilded edition that they have on Amazon. But when you get it in the box, it comes with glossy edition. I just have it somewhere else, just so not to confuse you. This one is going to be really great because it has a sense of playfulness that we all also need to acknowledge and have with money. Not playfulness where we need to laugh at it, but playfulness where we need to have an ease. Also, you want to be able to know how to hold on to things, but also to know when you need to let go. And this deck does a great job of that. It's also a very supportive deck to support you through transitions of where you need to trust yourself, transitions where you need to let go, transitions when you need to take leaps in a direction where you've been wanting to go, but you couldn't. For a lot of you for whom money blocks, you're going to discover revolve around taking the leap, asking for that promotion, quitting the job to find another one, increasing what you charge for your services. All of those are going to come with a sense of resistance initially, because there's going to be an element of, I've never done it before, so I don't trust myself that it's possible, right? If you've never done something, it's not conceivable for us. So for that reason, having something that is so supportive that tells you, yes, you can do it, go ahead and jump up, go ahead and take that leap, Be That Fool is going to be helpful. So this is Wild One in Oracle by Alana Fairchild. So now you can see how you can have decks that are not even money specific to help you creatively with all of this. Another one that is going to be great is going to be Tarot of Mystical Moments. This one is interesting choice, you would think, because whereas others are so rooted in mundane thing, this one is more rooted in not fantastical, but imaginative, in more free-flowing and open. For all of you watching this who are super creatives, who are especially super creatives in your own business, this is going to be a really good deck because again, if you're planning something new, it's going to help you trust yourself. Another reason why I picked this deck is because when it comes to money blocks, shifting our mindset, uh, reshaping our relationship to money, an element of creativity needs to be present. You need to creatively look at money in general because money doesn't really exist. It's a human invention. It's not a necessity. We made it necessity, but truly it isn't. So it is, a conception of human mind. So it does falls in the realm of creativity. So for that reason, you need to be able to look at your blockages, to look at your relationship to things from a more creative angle. And you also need to trust yourself. And to trust yourself, again, comes with an element of getting in touch with that freedom to be free, uninhibited, that connects us to inner child. Inner child, to me, is all about not so much connecting to your like playing with your childhood, but connecting to that part of you that had that complete freedom as a child. And this deck is really going to help you with that. So Tarot Mystical Moments is going to be another good one. And to sum it up, we have two more oracles. I'm sorry if I keep putting things on my desk and shaking the camera. I apologize for that. Oh my God, I'm so excited. There's two more. Okay, this one is going to be very good and comes at no surprise, Lucy Cavendish, Less Vampires. When we're looking at our relationship to money, each one of us are going to have a dark side. What is a dark side? I don't mean necessarily shadow. I don't mean necessarily bad side. I just mean maybe a part of ourselves, that part of our behaviors that we already know that comes in relationship to money, that we wish we know, not even wish, we know that we can do better. Edged mind as well. This is a really good one too, especially look at your blind spots. What are you not seeing in relationship to money? What is being hidden for you? What is being obstructed? What is your ego likes to hide? Um, are there elements of jealousy or envy that you're not acknowledging? This is going to be a great deck to look at those aspects of relationships. And it is just like the criteria of the rest of the decks, direct and to the point and very, very clear deck. And also so whimsical and fun. I mean, look at them. Every time I do any video showing decks, I realize just how much I miss working with all of them. So this is going to be Lucy Cavendish, Less Vampires Oracle. Highly, highly recommend. Going to be another one. If you don't have this, which one do you have in your decks that not only is honest, but also tends to illuminate the way Deviant Moon does? This would be similar to Deviant Moon, where it tends to shine a light and illuminate on aspects of your behavior in relationship to money that you know there, but you don't want to acknowledge, that you know exists, but you don't want to speak up about. And finally, lastly but not least, that I would recommend is Woodland Warden's Oracle. Look around, what kind of oracle deck do you have, or tarot deck, that is a great way to clarify things for you? Because, and again, I edged and trimmed mine. This deck was meant to be trimmed. Let me tell you all, if you have this and you haven't trimmed yours, get your scissors, I promise you. I always want to say, or your money back, but it's not the type of infomercial. But trimmed, it looks fantastic. So we're looking for a deck that is can be a very, very clear clarifier when you are doing uncovering those things as you're going along with your questions and you feel like you're still not getting a clear answer. Having a clarifier deck, either this one or any other one, is going to be really helpful. Alice in Wonderland is my #1 favorite clarifier to clarify, because sometimes the messages are clear, but we are preventing ourselves from seeing what they're saying. And that preventing seeing is happening even on unconscious level. It's really creating that obstruction and building up that wall. So having a deck that is, can quickly and clearly nudge you in a direction that you need to go and can clarify things for you is going to be instrumental. And this is a great example of that one. You have a keyword and you have a phrase, the salamander and black pepper inspiration. So it's really, really good. The deer and oat healing. You can use the guidebook, but it's great to have clarifiers when it's right there. Bam, you know exactly what it's trying to clarify. So look for the Oracle or Tarot deck that also ideally Oracle, because then you can use it to enhance your tarot reading experience. That is a great, great clarifier. Having shown you the decks that are from my collection, I want to know which ones are you going to pick for digging into, which I'm going to go through you in next lesson, explaining to you how to use this workbook to your best ability. But let me know. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do, and show me on Instagram handle Tarot Shrink. I feel like everywhere I'm like Tarot Shrink. That's all. My YouTube is Tarot Shrink. And share which decks are you going to be using for this work. I'll be curious, because I'm always want to discover decks that others think are suitable for this type of work or any other classes that you're taking. Let me know. And lastly, but not least, this is also important, and I say this all the time. Apart from looking decks that may meet this criteria, right? And apart from just using standard decks, again, those Tarot de Marseille and Rider-Waite-Smith, I encourage for you to talk to your decks. Each one of these things are beings. They're energy. We're all energy. We all vibrate on a certain frequency. So I really encourage for you also to look at what you have and to out loud say, I'm going to be working on my money mindset. Who wants to help me? And I promise you, there will be a deck that is going to jump out at you. It's almost like it's going to be screaming with the hand raised up, me, pick me. You want to take the deck. That deck has something to offer you. And even if the deck doesn't fall into this category, even if the deck has like some fantasy land and spaceships and aliens, it does not matter. What matters is that you have asked and the energetic frequency showed up and matched up to that, and you need to trust that. So any deck that you even drawn or inclined to work with on the money mindset as you're thinking about doing this type of work, go for it. Trust that intuition, trust that God, it will not fail you. So I'm excited now that you're going to select a deck or decks, multiple decks and oracles to work with or not, up to you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in class #3, where I will be discussing with you how to best maximize and take advantage and use the workbook that you have. I'll see you all in class #3.